in the end what he can see. Thinking if you are in the top of the mountain, you, not the dabba, absolutely she's sharp more than us. How she look far, this is the first step for her hand. How fast is that? So قالوا في الحديث أنها كان سيدنا إبراهيم يستعمل البراق. This is the hadith, the first hadith, before you start with the story of the Hajj. Back to explanation, we have 3 minutes. Let's go take the benefit from our story that came in Sahihain. We explain how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala مقادير الإلهية سبحانه وتعالى أن يوفق سيدنا إبراهيم وهو شيخ عجوز كبير وامرأته عاقر. He's an old man and his wife old woman, she cannot get a baby, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala he send him to the bala, calamity. The king جبار. دايما يقول لك يخرج الفرج من رحم البلاء، يخرج السعادة كلها. When you have any calamity or problems, remember, when you trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you independent in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the happiness you came from this calamity. Subhanallah. Looks like delivery, like in the Arabic. يعني صعب جدا انك تتكلم باللغة العربية، المعاني اللغة العربية في يعني كناية والاستعارة والكلام ده في الانجليش انا شخصيا ما اعرفش اقولها ازاي. But the meaning is when you have calamity and تتوكل على الله, dependent in Allah, حق توكله, sincerely with Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala you make this calamity opposite, very happy. And the same way when you go the Hajj, we need you come back different Hajj, different chest, clean your chest, clean from the sins, from the mistakes. ينزل الحاج من جبل عرفات كيوم ولدته أمه. The day the Hajj coming down from the Arafat, Mount of Arafat, the day exactly your mom send you delivery, clean. So inshallah we need to come back from the Hajj clean. This is, I said, starting the story of the Hajj. دي بداية قصة الحاج, how Hajar came from her father as the king, slaves, and another king in the north, and after that came Amma to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam house, and she married him, and now she is in واد غير ذي زرع عند بيتك المحرم, as the Quran explained. Place you have nothing in it, nothing, only desert. صحراء. وكيف هي الصحراء وليس فيها عمار. You have no plants, no trees, no building, no tent, no nothing. صحراء يصفر فيها الريح. The wind very strong. And thinking about the night time, when you came the night time, the mother with the baby, no tent, no building, no trees. يعوي فيها الذئاب ومليئة بالهوام وحفيف الثعابين وخلافه. It's full with the snakes and the fox and the lions and a lot of wild animals. Very scary. And how Hajar did, inshallah, next week, inshallah, we complete and we start the details about this hadith, the opening of the story, and we come to explain the hadith أول من اتخذ المنطق من النساء إسماعيل. جزاكم الله خير وبارك الله فيكم. and Dr. Naid inshallah you will start in the medical.
والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم لا علم إلا ما علمتنا وأنت علام الغيوب. So the second part of the lecture, and that's going to be the program from now on until inshallah the time of Hajj, is to talk Sharia, the first part, and the second part inshallah we will give some medical advice to people who are planning to go for Hajj so that you can try to not get sick, which is very difficult in such a place, very crowded. So we will prepare ourselves for Hajj, make sure your money is halal, make sure you have the time and effort, and make sure that you are ready to do that trip. And with that, you need to make sure also to prepare yourself from health point of view so that you can minimize the chance of catching 1 or 2 diseases there. I made Hajj several times. The last one I did not get sick except the last day when I just took it easy. Now, First rule is visit your doctor. And there are, mashallah, very good Muslim doctors here. They have their clinics and they have programs and they can tell you everything about what you need to do in preparation to going to Hajj. Very important thing. Inshallah, we are going to give guidelines, general guidelines tonight. And in the coming weeks, either myself or Dr. Muhammad Ismail, who has more experience than me, will talk in more details about certain topics, in fact. So, as we said, visit your doctor, talk to him, see what he tells you. There are programs, brochures, and guidelines. 2, vaccines. Make sure that you take your vaccines. For example, meningitis, hepatitis, yellow fever, swine flu, cholera, etc. You need to have a first aid kit, and inshallah we'll elaborate more on what needs to be there in that kit. Pay attention to cleaning and hygiene equipment, and you need to have appropriate clothing, and we will elaborate more on that. Example, meningitis is a very serious disease. Might not be very common, but this is a very crowded place, and in certain areas like Safa wal Marwa or when you make tawaf, you are really in a very crowded place, which means it's the best setup for viral infections, bacterial infections, stuff like that. One of the serious infections would be meningitis, and this is infection of the membranes of the brain and the spinal cord. Can be life-threatening. The symptoms of it, so it will be, people will have severe headache, high fever, and neck stiffness that can also lead to coma and even death, and it can happen really fast. So neck stiffness is a warning sign if somebody has it. Vaccination is mainly to the what we call meningococcal bacterial species, and that's the most common one in these crowded places. And it can provide you with immunity for 3 years if you take it. Some people recommend to take 1 dose of ciprofloxacin, 500 milligrams, which is now generic. So you can get it for cheap in Walmart for a couple of dollars. And 1 dose of cipro can kill these bacteria in your throat or in your airways, which means minimizes you passing it to another people. We are immune to whatever pathogens we have been exposed to during childhood or whatever immunity we got from our mothers. But when you go there, you have all different types of strains that your body has never been exposed to, so you can easily get sick if you catch one of these. Viral diseases is common, and of course viral diseases, the different types depends on the age of the person and depends on the immune system or immunity status. We know kids have different viral diseases than our viral diseases. And most of them, they give you flu-like symptoms. Flu-like symptoms including malaise, headache, chills, rigors, fever, sweating. People can have lymphadenopathy, enlarged lymph nodes, skin rash. So these are the symptoms of this. And there are lots of different types of viruses that people can catch, including mumps, measles, rubella, chickenpox, flu, swine flu, hepatitis, herpes zoster, herpes simplex, infectious mononucleosis, yellow fever. It's a long list that can really lead to these diseases. Hepatitis is a very dangerous disease, which is a viral disease passed through by intimate contact. You have to have really direct contact to catch it. And for example, blood transfusion. Some people would go to the hospitals, might need surgery, or there when you shave, الحلق والتقصير, especially if you shave, make sure you have your own equipment, your own razor, because you don't want to share with other people, because you don't know who had hepatitis. And so you can pass the virus. Unfortunately, this is a chronic disease, will damage the liver, can cause liver cancer. It's a bad disease. There is no cure for it. There's some medication that can delay the progress of the disease, but it's a very bad disease to catch. Another viral disease which can be dangerous is yellow fever. We all heard about it. Again, this disease can mimic any type of other diseases. So it mainly can give you high fever, neck stiffness, chills, fever, symptoms like cold. And again, this disease can kill within a very short time. These acquired infections can be respiratory, like flu, cold, pneumonias through the airway, lungs. People can have gastroenteritis, can be virus, rotavirus and other viruses give you diarrhea and vomiting. People can have skin diseases, either from sunburn, being exposed to the sun for a long time, scabies or fungal infection, especially skin friction, balanitis. We will also elaborate more on that and what to take for that during Hajj from sweating, but it's more common when you do Hajj during the hot season. Nowadays it's cold and cool, so probably this might not happen. Sunstroke and heat exhaustion is another problem, but as I said, it might not be a problem during this time. We talked already about meningitis. People can have sprains and strains from tripping there or slipping, and we have seen lots of people, so you have to be cautious about that. And then people can have post-Hajj syndrome. When they come back, they have fatigue, they're very tired, they have muscle aches, headaches, lack of sleep, they feel cold, etc., etc. What shall we do? As I said, this session is going to be common guidelines, but inshallah we will elaborate more in more details. Number one, watch what you are eating. And most of the teams that leave United States, they provide the food for you, for us, or for you. So you don't have to go and eat outside. And they have provide really very good food, which is clean and watched and monitored. It's very important to drink lots of fluids and lots of water. Keep yourself hydrated, especially if the person gets gastroenteritis or diarrhea, stuff like that. Be careful about avoiding fires, which can be a major problem, or accident, because there's lots of traffic there. People can get involved or get killed in car accident. Observe cleanliness and hygiene. Do not exhaust yourself, because with exhaustion, meaning stress, your immune system is depressed, which means you are at a higher risk of catching this disease or resisting this disease. And refrain from smoking. I really cannot imagine somebody going for Hajj and smoking there. We all know that smoking has been forbidden. Smoking is haram. And all types of smoking are haram, and it was forbidden by more than 100 scholars for more